Hi folks, welcome back to Raki Cyber Lab at TechnoHub channel for placement training. So in this training, in this session, we're going to discuss about Salesforce record level security. So we have discussed about field level security, we have discussed about system level security, all those stuff. But now we are going to discuss about the record level security. How the record should be maintained when the record is being assigned to some other user, whether they can be able to access it or not. It talks about the accessibility and other things, right? So now the first thing is, right, we are going to discuss about the record level security, which you know what is all about record level security. So record level security enables the user to access a few object records. So in case you want to access the object records, right? In case you want to access the objects, right? So the user owns every record or data and he has full access to it. So he is called as a record owner. So if he has full access to a particular record, then he is called as a record owner. So the record owner should grant access to other users or to his subordinate to view or to edit or create or whatever he want to do, he can able to do it. So in a hierarchy, the user in the senior level always have the access that is granted for the user at the junior level. So when it comes to hierarchy, right, the senior level people, the users who are the senior level, he has all grant access to the junior level records. So he can able to see all the records which has been owned by the juniors, right? So the user will also have access to the record shared with them, right? So to define the record level security, first we have to create a OWD, which is called as organization by default. For the record level security, first we have to set our OWD, which is called as organization by default, and the sharing settings and define a hierarchy and then create the sharing rule. First, for record level security, first what we have to do, we have to create the OWD, which is called as organization by default. In that, I'm going to tell, right? In that, I'm going to tell, so what kind of record and whether it is going to be publicly, it can be accessed, or it is going to be private, whether it has been grant access to the hierarchy level, the higher, what is it? Higher level persons or not, right? All those stuff we are going to specify there. And then we are going to create the sharing rules. This will come across later, but now, right? So we should know elaborately about the record level security. It is easy that with roles, we can modify the profile and permission set in the Salesforce organization. With the roles, we can modify the profiles and permission set in the organization, in the org. The profile and permissions are configured to control the object of the user and field level access permission. So why do we go for a profile? Profile is used to configure or to control the objects of the user and field level access, right? The role controls the user record level security via role hierarchy and sharing rules. The role controls the user record level. So when you want to control the record level access, record level security, you have to go via role hierarchy and sharing rules. How do you control the field level security and all the stuff using the profile, right? The same way here, right? The same way here, we are going to control the record level security via roles or by using the sharing rules, right? So how the records is controlled? The record level access is controlled in 4 ways. One is going to be organization by default. The other one is role hierarchy. The other one is sharing rule. The other one is manual sharing rule, right? We are going to discuss about all these things elaborately now. So we are going to discuss about organization by default, role hierarchy, sharing rules, and manual sharing. So how the record is controlled with respect to first one, organization by default. As I already told you, this organization by default controls the default object level record access. It controls the default object level record access. In other words, define the level of access each user has for a record for a particular object. In other words, it is defined the level of access. So who can access, right? So each user has for record for a particular object. So it talks about the level of access. So whether it's going to be senior level or junior level, how the records are accessed accordingly, right? So it talks about all this thing. What is coming to role hierarchy? Ensure manager have the access to the same records as their subordinates. So it ensures that it is going to have an access to the same level like what the subordinate has, right? Now manager is there and then the clerk is there, right? So whatever access that clerk can do, the same can able to do done by the manager also. Each role in the hierarchy represents the level of data access that the user or a group of user needs. So each role in the hierarchy represents the level of data access. So in the hierarchy, so each and every level should know the level of data access that the user or a group of user require, right? The next one is sharing rules. So like how we did with permission sets, same way here, we are going to go with sharing rules also. So like when we are going to create, how we are going to create a sharing rule, when we are going to create a sharing rule, before creating a sharing rule, the prerequisite is that we have to create OWD, right? Organization by default. So the sharing rules are automatic exceptions to organization by default for particular group of users, right? Sharing rules are automatic exception to organization by default for particular group of users. So it is an automatic exception. You know what is exception, right? So it is nothing but like we are handling errors, right? So it is automatic exception like to organization by default for a particular group of users. So organization by default for a particular group of users to give them access to the record they don't own or can't normally see. So here the sharing rules are nothing but is called as automatic exception to org by default, organization by default for a particular group of users, right? To give them the access to the record. Then normally, how do we give a permission set? Same way, we are going to create a sharing rule, special type of sharing rule to a particular group of users, right? Only them, only those people can able to access this particular record. So that is what all about sharing rules. It is an automatic exception. So it is being shared to a particular group of users, right? So where is coming to manual sharing? So let's record owners give read and edit permission to users who might not have access to the record or any other way. So what is manual sharing? So this sharing rules is nothing but automatic sharing. Whereas coming to manual sharing, you are going to give, that is who, the owner, the record owner is going to give the read, edit permission to the users who might not have access to the record or any other way. So those users don't have any access, right? He can manually grant access to those users. What kind of access is going to give? He's going to give read permission, edit permission, all those stuff is going to give, right? So these are the record controls that we have. We have something called organization by default, role hierarchy, sharing rules, and manual sharing. So this is the diagrammatic representation of record level, how the record is getting controlled. Now see here, it goes from like this, right? So organization by default, you're going to create an organization by default, then role hierarchy, right? So the first you're going to create organization by default, then the role hierarchy will be created. On the top of organization by default, you're going to create the sharing rule, right? On the top, on based through the role, you're going to create the sharing rule. Through the role, you're going to create the sharing rule. Already I told you, via roles, we're going to create the sharing rules, right? So, and then in case it's going to be sharing, automatic sharing rules or manual sharing rule, you're going to create. Now we'll go step by step, we'll go here. You can see the step by step flowchart representation is given here. Now, who is the most restricted user of the object? First, we have to know who is the most restricted user of the object. Is there ever going to be an instance of this object that is that this user should not be allowed to see? Is that any particular instance that of the object that it should not, that user should not see, right? So whether on the particular object, in this particular object, say for example, we have invoice object. In the invoice object, is that any user should not see any particular information here? If that is the case, yes, then you go with the sharing rule, make it private, right? Sharing model should be private. If it is no, everybody can see, then again there is going to be one more question, right? So that what you're going to do, is there ever going to be an instance of this object that this user should not be allowed to edit? So in case first one is that it should not see, in case he should not allowed to edit, right? Is there any instance of the object that should not be edited? The answer is that, then you make it as public. If the answer is no, then sharing model will be, again, it is going to be public, right? So accordingly, right? So accordingly, whether it should be accessed by anybody else, whether you have to give a permission, everything is based on sharing rule. Everything is based on sharing rule. Everything is going to be based on sharing rule. Either you're going to make it as private or you're going to make it as public, right? Either you're going to make it as private or you're going to make it as public, right? So now, as of now, we have discussed about record level sharing, and I discussed about what I told you, what is about organization by default. I discussed about what is sharing rule. I discussed about what is manual sharing rule, and I told you about a role also, right? We should know what is role, and we should know how to create a role. Now, just we'll get into the how to create a role, and will let us know what is creating a role. Role is nothing but what it is. It talks about a position, right? What kind of position you are working in the organization, right? So it is going to be like, it can be CEO, or can be HR manager, or can be a sales manager, or it can be a vice president sales, or it can be vice president marketing, or it can be vice president research. So it talks about the position, what position he is working on, what position he is working on, right? That is all about the role. But anyway, we'll see what is all about the role now. So what is a role? It defines the data access level to a single user or a group of users. Here in Salesforce, with reference to data, it defines the data access level to a single user or a group of users. It defines the access level to the single user or a group of users. Right? The role ensures that the senior level user have the same level of access to the data as junior. Right? Here, the role ensures that whatever the junior is having access level has been owned for the data, the same thing will be owned by the senior also. The role ensures that the senior level user have the same level of access to the data as the junior other than OWD. So other than OWD, whatever the senior is having, the junior will have. Whatever the junior is having with respect to data, whatever he can access, the same access can be done by the senior also, right? Other than the OWD by default. So in case in the OWD, when you make it as private, either senior or junior cannot be able to access it. So there we have grant hierarchy. If I make the grant hierarchy private, even the senior person cannot be able to see the junior level data. So if at all he grant access that the senior level person can able to access it, then only can able to access, otherwise it is not possible. That we are going to specify in the OWD, which is called as organization by default, right? So we come to know what is role. Role is defined. What is role? Role defines that it defines about the data access level to a single user or group of users. Role, what is role? Role is nothing but define the access level to the single user or group of users, right? It talks about the access level. Role, based on the role is going to define how the data can be accessed. So by the single user or the group of users, right? So the role ensures that the senior level user have the same level of access to the data as junior other than the OWD setting, right? Now we'll see how to create a role. Now we're going to see how to create a role. I told you role is nothing but it talks about the data access, right? Irrespective of junior or senior level based on the requirement. Now let me see how to create a role now. Now you have to go to setup form, go to users, then you're going to click on roles, then you're going to click on setup roles. The first time when you click on setup roles, it will take you to this window like understanding roles here, right? So then you're going to give click on the setup roles here, right? Nothing else. It tells about the hierarchy. Now, for example, so at the topmost, who is going to be CEO, the president, CEO, CFO, Chief Financial Officer, VP, Vice President, Sales, right? So on. So only the topmost executive staffs will be there. Under them, right? The directors will be there. So director sales, director Western sales, the Eastern sales, director internal sales, right? Under the sales, right? Director, then manager would be there, or sales representative would be there. Under sales representative, the clerk would be there. So it goes on like this, goes on there like a tree level, like a hierarchy level. Got it? Now let me see how to create. When you click on this, then it'll take you to the hierarchy, right? It'll take you to the tree kind of, let us creating a role hierarchy page. Now it'll take you to the role hierarchy page. You can see the role hierarchy will be like this, like a tree structure. It will be like a tree structure. You will get a tree structure of organization role hierarchy, right? If you click on expand, right? Expand all, it gets expanded, right? You can see the default hierarchy set up by Salesforce. The moment when you register, right? Internally, the role will be created for your org, right? So based on that, when you expand it, so now the Raghu Engineering College will be there. Under that, you can have CEO and chairman, whatever you want, you can create accordingly. But initially go with CEO, right? Either chairman can be a CEO here. Got it? So then we need to assign the role in the specific level required for the user. So then wherever you want to create a role, right? There is something called add role. You click on add role and then you create a role by giving a name for the role and then you save it. So that particular role will be assigned under the CEO, under the chairman. Say now, for example, according to our college hierarchy, who is the topmost? Chairman is the topmost, right? Under him, who is the second topmost? So vice chairman is the second topmost, right? So now what happens under chairman? What I have to create a vice chairman, VC. So that is what I do under chairman. I have a link called add role. I'm going to click on add role there and I'm going to enter. So with the moment when I click on add role, a window will be open and ask you to enter the label, right? Field name. So there I'm going to enter vice chairman and then I'm going to save it. The moment I save it, then what happens under chairman, right? One more role will be created that is called vice chairman. Right? Likewise, we can able to create a role here. Likewise, we are going to able to create a role here. Let us consider that we have two users, user 1 for senior position and user 2 for junior position. For senior level, we'll give all the access that junior has. Now for the senior level, whatever the junior has, the same access will be given to the senior also. Now user role 1. User 1 is added to COO level now. User is added to COO level. Now click on assign button. Now click on under CEO, click on assign button. If at all there is the role is already there, if at all there is role is already there, on the right hand side you have edit link, delete link and assign link. You have edit link, delete link and assign link. So only thing is you have to assign the COO rule to the particular user. So that is what you do. You click on assign button, assign link, and you're going to assign the user to this particular role. If it is you want to create a role, then you have to go for add role. Already the role is there, but you want to assign the user to it. That is what you do. You're going to click on assign link, and then you're going to add the user to the particular role, right? So now for the senior position, we are adding for COO, we are adding the user, right? That case you can click on this, then it will take you to the available user. From there you can select the user and add it to the selected user for COO, and then save it. COO will be assigned to for the COO role. A particular user will be assigned, right? Similar way for the second one also, right? So now select add. Now again, you want to add something other than under the CEO, you want to add somebody else, right? You can add role. In case you want to create a new role, you can add role. Already, if there is something role is there, you want to assign it, you can click on assign button, you can add it, right? Accordingly, right? So this is how we're going to create a role. Now click on COO role. It will take you to the role detail page here, right? So once you are done with it, right, it will take you to the role COO page here. So then now what happens, right? You can, in case you can go here, you can edit here. Now see here, the label name is COO. The role reports to CEO. COO is reporting to CEO, right? The role name as displayed on the report is COO. So modified by whom? Is there any sharing groups there? In that case, it's going to specify, it is going to give all the information. This role page is going to give you all the information about COO, right? Now we have created a COO. Now second user, we are going to create a second user. Under COO, I'm going to create a subordinate, right? Under COO, I'm going to create one more role called subordinate, right? So that is one more role. I'm going to create one more role here, right? So now again, click on the roles, setup roles, right? Your organization role hierarchy will be shown here. Under COO, you're going to click on add roles, right? Go to setup to navigation also. If you want, you can go for setup home, user roles and add roles. You can go for add roles there. Under COO, you can add roles and click on assign user to the role button. So now you're going to assign the user to the role button. Click on available users, right? On the available users, you are going to select a particular user and click on the arrow mark. It will be added to the selected user for the assistant COO, right? For COO assistant, we are going to add it here, right? Select all the users so that all the users will be displayed. Select these. Now here you have to, here on the available user, under available users, you have to select all users. So that under this, all the users will be displayed. From there, you can select user and click on add button arrow mark so that it will be added to the selected user for assistant to the COO, right? So then after you do this everything, right, then click on save. The user will be created, will be assigned, and the role will be created, right? Accordingly. Now, assistant to COO is the role has been created. Assistant to COO, the role has been created, right? So now we can see that the label is going to be assistant to COO and role name is going to be assistant to COO, right? It is nothing but peer to COO, right? The role reports to whom? COO. The role name as displayed on the reports is going to be assistant COO, modified by whom, and sharing groups and all those stuff, right? Will be given here. This is how we are going to create a role. Now we'll get into the demo. Now let us get into the demo. So now we are going to get into demo now, right? So now let me go to setup page. I'm going to click on setup. Now let me click on setup. Right. So now I am in the setup page now. Now thing is that I'm going to create a role. In order to create a role, now click on under home, you click on quick find box, type role there. When you type role, right, under user you can see role there, right? You can click on the role link. It will take you to the role page, how to create a role page. As I told, first time when you're going to use it, this particular understanding role will be displayed here. So now just you click on setup roles button here. It will take you to the your organization role hierarchy. Now according to me, it is iWay Labs, right? When I created this, when I registered my user ID, I created in the company name called iWay Lab. So now it has been designed for this hierarchy. Tree has been created for organization hierarchy. Role has been created for iWay Lab. Under iWay Lab, CEO is the person who is going to be topmost, right? So I have to assign the CEO for. I want to assign the CEO for the role called CEO. I have to assign the user. For the role called CEO, I have to assign the user. Now on the right hand side, you have something called edit link, delete link, and assign link. I'm going to click on assign. I'm going to click on assign. Now, when I click on assign here, available user search, all unassigned is there. But now I'll go for all users now. And when I go for all users, you can see here, all the users will be displayed here. When I go for all users will be displayed. I'll select Rakesh and click on add and then add it to the selected user for CEO. After selecting this, right, I'm going to click on save. Now the user called Rakesh has been added has been assigned to a role called CEO. Now user called Rakesh Kumar has been assigned to a role called CEO. Already the CEO position is there, right? Already CEO role is there. But only thing is I have to assign the user. I've done it now. But under CEO, what is it? I want to create one more role, right? Under CEO, I want to create one more role called VCEO. I want to create Vice CEO, right? For example, there is something called Vice CEO, right? Like I have CEO2 or something, right? I want to create one more role, right? I want to create a director, right? Or under CEO, I want to create a director or else. Now, for this, what I do, I'll click on add role. I'll click on add role. Now I'm going to say director sales. Director sales. Right? The label name is director sales. The role name is going to be director sales. He reports to CEO. Role name as displayed to on the reports. Director sales. Now click on save button. So now the role will be created. Now the role will be created. Right? So now the role will be created, right? So when the role has been created, we have to assign the user, right? I have to assign the user to the role. I've created a role, right? Now again, in case you want to have you want to check it, right? Again, you click on roles thing here, right? Again, then you can see again, you click on setup roles here. Under CEO, right? There will be one more. See, under CEO, you can see the director sales will be created. Director sales will be created. Now we have to assign the user. Again, that's that case, you want to assign the user, again, you can click on assign button here. Either way, you can do it, right? After you create the role, under this, you have assign user button there. You click on that, it will take you to this particular window. Otherwise, you go back to the roles, right? Click on, you check the director sales has been created. On the right hand side, you can see assign button. You click on that, it will take you to this page, right? Now again, available user, you select all user, right? All the user will be displayed. Now I'll select Abhinav Kumar and then add it to the selected user director sales, right? And then click on save button. Now this guy called Abhinav Kumar has been assigned to the director sales. Got it? So likewise, we can able to create a role, assign a role by giving the use, by selecting the user. This is how we can able to create, right? So this role is nothing but mainly to access the data, and mainly accessing the data for which we are going to create a role, right? For which we will create a role. Now let me go back to my slide now. So as of now, we discussed about how to create a role. Now we are going to discuss about how to create a queue. What is a queue? Queue is nothing but a group of people will be available in a queue. In a call center, right? The group of people will be there. Whenever the call comes, the call will be assigned to a particular person who is free. The call will be assigned to a particular person who are going to be free. Here, so in the queue, everybody is going to be the owner. In the queue, everybody is going to be the owner. It is not one person who is going to be a owner. So in the queue, the group of people will be there. All the person will be there, right? All the person will be the owner, will act as the owner here. So whenever the call comes, whoever is free, they're going to pick the call and they're going to discuss with the customer, and they're going to try to log the call, right? And then the ticket will be raised accordingly. It will be diversified to the particular engineer to solve the problem. So now let me see how to create. Now let me see what is queue and how to create a queue and all the stuff now, right? So now let me see what is a queue. Queue is a group of users collaborating together and sharing the workload. Just now I told you. So it is collaborating together and sharing the workload. Workload will be shared together. Queue will be a owner of a record. So who is going to be the owner of the record? When the queue is assigned, queue means it is a group of people. The group of people will be owner of the record, right? So here the group of people to be the owner here. Queue will be the one. If the queue is going to be a owner of the record, the group of people is going to be the owner of the record. Got it? So now, see here. Now let me see how to create a queue now. Now again, go to setup. Right under setup, you have quick find box. On the quick find box, you want to type queue, so that when you click on queue's link, then take you to the queue page, and then you're going to click on new button. So then now it will take you to the next page like this. New queue. Then you're going to enter the label and queue name. Right after this, then in case you want to select the user, right? What are the position available objects, right? What are the objects you wanted? You can select the supported object here, and then comes to who is going to be a member of the queue. Who is going to be a member of the queue, right? So that who are all going to be member of the queue, you're going to select the members from the all users. From there, you're going to select the users, add it to the selected user, and then what happens, right? Like then queue members. After giving the queue members, then you're going to save it, right? Then you're going to save it. This is how you're going to create a queue. This is how you're going to create a queue. Now let me go to demo and see how to create a queue. Now let me go to a demo and then see how to create a queue. So now I have come back to my org production environment. Now it is a setup page here. Under home, we have quick find box. On the quick find box, I'm going to type right queue now. I'm going to type queue. So under user menu, you have something called queue link. Right? You're going to click on queue link and take you to the queue link page here. Now there is no any queue here. I'm going to create a new queue. So for creating a new queue, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on new button. I'm going to click on new button, right? And here I'm going to give a label here, right? So what is the name of the label? Salesforce developers. Some name I'm going to give, right? So in case if you have any email, queue email, you can give your email ID so that this mail will be sent to the email. Now available objects. What are the objects that you have it as of now? Available objects. In case we have any objects, right, like pharma products, right? So then position, like whichever object you wanted, you can select it, right? After this, then you're going to select the user. Select all users here. So now when it comes to queue members, The queue members can be a public group, can be a role and subordinate, or users, right? So do we have any public group? Have we created any public group? No, right? Have we created any role? No, right? If that is the case, you can select the role here, right? Which role, right? You can select the role also. Now, for example, I'm going to go with the users now. Now, in the users now, I'm going to select, right? So some of the user, like this is one user, like another user, right? Add it here, and Anirudh also will add it. Right? These are the users who's going to be in the queue, right? After done with all this thing, now click on save button. So now queue is being created. Now when you enter a record, right? When you open a particular object like pharma product, whatever it may be, right? After the record has been entered, now in case you want to change the owner, when you change the owner can be changed to queue also. When it comes to queue, the group, all these three people are going to be the owner of the record. All these people will be owner of the record, right? This is all about queue now, right? This is all about queue now, right? Now, next one. So this is all about queue, right? I told you already about the queue. Now we have created a queue. After creating queue, in case you want to go to a particular object, right? Say for example, you can go to the particular object like pharma products, and then you can enter the detail, and after entering the detail, right? In case you want to change the owner of the, right? You can select the, so who is the owner, right? In case you want to change the owner, right? So that case, what you do, you can go to the particular object detail page, right? So that you can select the app here, right? You can select the that is, you can change the owner also, like you can change the owner also, right? So again, I'll go back to the demo. Again, I'll go back to the demo now. So I'll show you the record now. Now, thing is that when I click on, or when I go and click on edit button, you can see that pharma product is going to be the object selected. Pharma product has been the object selected, right? Now let me click on save. I'll go to the pharma app now, right? I have to go to the pharma app now. Now click on app launcher. Now type pharma app so that you'll get the pharma app now. Now let me click on pharma products and click on new button. So that now you're going to enter the pharma product, right? Now here you're going to say Butycord. Product name is Butycord. Product type, it is going to be asthma, right? Product specification used for asthma. Right? What is the price? 225 rupees. Right? Inventory, in case you want, you can have it. Who is the manufacturer? Cipla. What is the business type? Is it going to be retail, or you can have retail? You can have it for wholesale, whatever it may, you can add it here, and then you're going to save it. Right now, once you save it, right, the product will be added here. Now it says that the record is going to be, now who is the record, right? Who is the record owner? Record owner is going to be Rakesh Kumar. Suppose I want to change the record owner. And now the company name IVL Labs is active here. Suppose I want to change the owner of the record. Can I able to change the owner of the record? Right? Suppose I want to change the owner of the record. Right? In case I want to change the owner of the record, right? Right? Is it possible to change the owner of the record here? Now see here. Now I can click on this owner of the record. When I click on the owner of the record, see here, there is a window called change owner. It is coming. Now instead of owner called Rakesh Kumar, I want to change it to Q. Right? Now click onto this pick list or arrow mark down. Select Q now. Right? Now select the Q. Now the Q. I have to search for the Q now. Right? I have to search for the Q. Right? Or else you have to enter the Q name. Right? Like I have to select Salesforce developer. See here, I got a queue called Salesforce developer. It is available here. I'm going to select Salesforce developer. Click on change owner. Now the owner will be changed here to Salesforce developer. For this particular record, who is the owner? The queue is the owner. For the particular record, who is the owner? So the Salesforce developer is the owner. For this particular record, who is the owner? Salesforce developer is the owner. Got it? So now this is how we're going to create the queue, and then we're going to assign the. This is how we're going to create the queue, and we're going to assign the owner for this queue. Right? This is how we're going to create the queue, and we're going to assign the owner for the queue. Got it? So now we'll go to the next topic. Now next one is how to create a group. Now creating a group. Right now we're going to discuss about how to creating a group, like public group. Right, we're going to create a public group. Group. What is a group? Group is nothing but set of users. A group of users. A set of users. So group can contain individual users. The group contain individual users. The group contain individual users. Other group or other users in a particular role or territory, plus all the users below the role or territory in the hierarchy. Right? I told you what is a group. Group consists of set of users. A group can contain, a group can be an individual user or group of user or set of peoples, right? Users in a particular role or a territory, plus all the users below the role or territory in the hierarchy. Either it can be based on the role, particular role, right? Or users below the role or a territory, can be anything. So there are two types of group. One is going to be public group, the other one is called personal group, right? One is going to be public group, it is open to everybody. The other one is called private group, that is called personal group. Here we have two types of group. One is going to be public group, the other one is called personal group. One is going to be public group, the other one is called personal group, right? So now see here. So what is public group? If admin creates a group, then it is called public group. When the admin creates a group, then it is called public group. They can be used by everyone in the organization, right? In the org, everyone can be able to use this, right? The purpose of having public group is to assign things or resources to it, which are meant to be seen or used by everyone in the organization. When I create a public group, what is the use of public group? So whatever document that is being, say anything you want to share, any document, any data you want to share, it will be shared with all the users. It will be shared with all the users, right? In the org. On the other hand, public groups are used more for a sharing purpose. Just now I told you, they are not the owner of the record like you, but can share the records in terms of access. They are not going to be owner or like a queue, but it can be shared. The record can be shared in terms of access. Right? That is what public group. Whereas coming to personal group, only for the certain users, the access will be created. Only for the certain users. Each user can create a group for the personal use. Each user can create a group for the personal use. If any other user creates, then it is called as a personal group or private group. Only for a set of group people, only for a set of users, it has been created. Then it is called as personal group or it is called as private group. Right? Why public groups are used in Salesforce? Because they use to define the sharing rules. Why do we create public groups in Salesforce? For defining the sharing rule, we require a public group. That's what we go for a public group. Right? Now let me see how to create a public group. So in order to create a public group, again you have to go to setup page. Under setup page, you have a home. Under home, you have a quick find box, and the quick find box, you're going to type public group. It will take you to the public group page like this. You're going to click on new button, right? And then here you're going to enter the name of the public group, right? A public group label, enter the group name. In search, we can search for the user role. The public group can contain users, role, and then public group groups or roles in subordinates and so on. Add members from available members to selected members and then save. Right, this is how we're going to create a public group. Right, again, so here you're going to use the label here like the sales team and grant access using hierarchy that should be enabled. And in case going to be role, right? You're going to search for roles and add the roles here. After adding the roles, right? So in case public group anything, you're going to add it, right? You can add it here. In case going to be users, you can add it. After adding it, finally, you're going to click on save. After adding, you're going to click on save, right? After adding, you're going to click on save. Now we'll see the demo for creating a public group. Right, again what we have to do, we have to go to setup, right? Again, we have to go to setup. Now, in case you want to get into setup, click on setup. It'll take you to setup page. It'll take you to setup page. Now, under home page, you have a quick find box. On the quick find box, right? On the quick find box, you're going to type public group. You're going to type public group. So you'll take you to the public group. So now you're going to give the name of the group. So before that, what you do, when I click on public group, it will take you to the public group page. I'm going to click on new button. I'm going to click on new button. When I click on new button, what happens? It's going to ask you to give the label, right? Now I'm going to give sales team something, right? You have to give some relevant sales team. The name of the group is going to be sales team, right? And grant access using hierarchy, it should be enabled. So now, as of now, there is no any public group, right? So now, when you go with the roles and hierarchy, you can select the group can be individual also. So that case, I can select CEO also here, right? And from here again for the users, there is no roles and roles. Even I can select from roles and subordinate also. I can select the users also. I can add some user here, like add this guy, and this guy also can add it, right? After adding all this thing, right? Once it is done, and then finally, so add the delegated as an administration group, right? That is nothing is there. So I'm not adding. So the only this much I'm going to do with, and then I'm going to click on save. Now the group has been created. Now the public group has been created, right? Now the public group has been created. Now again, I go back to the slides now. So now we are going to discuss about the record owner. This is the last topic for this section, right? Now we're going to discuss about the record owner. So for each and every record, we're going to have a owner, right? So whoever is going to create a particular record is called as a record owner. Either he can be an individual user, he can be a queue, right? So he is called as a record owner. So every record will have one user or a queue as a owner. Generally, whichever the user is creating a record, he will be the owner of the record. Just now I told you. Right? We can apply automation techniques to decide the owner of the record. Just now also I changed the record owner, right? I've created a queue, and initially the whoever is creating the record, by default he will be the record owner. But think what it did, I created a queue and I've changed the record owner to, instead of the individual user, I changed it to queue, right? So here we have an automated tools here, automation technique, which will automatically create the record, which will automatically decide upon the record owner. Will decide on the record owner, right? But as of now, I created a queue and then I changed it manually. But here automatically it has to be done. So for which we have a two automation technique. One is going to be lead assignment rule. The other one is called case assignment rule. The other one is called triggers. Triggers we're going to discuss about in the PD1, right? Like we have before trigger, after trigger, 4 to 5 triggers we have it, that we'll discuss later. Before update, after update, and so on. Like we have different triggers, but here we are not going to discuss about triggers. We even coming to case assignment tool also we're going to discuss later, not now. So for case assignment tool, we are going to discuss in the service, not in the sales. We're going to discuss in the service, right? So now we are discussing in now whatever we are discussing here is going to be with respect to sales, right? So in that we're going to discuss about lead assignment tool now. I'm going to discuss about lead assignment tool. Now we should know, we are going to get into lead assignment tool. We should know what is lead assignment tool, right? We should know what is lead assignment tool. So these rules are used to decide who should be the owner of the lead record, right? It is going to decide who should be the owner of the record, right? This tool will decide who is going to be the owner of the record. For this, right, what we do, we go to setup home, platform tools, future settings, then marketing and a lead assignment tool. Then we're going to get into new, right? Or should we go this way? In a shortcut nutshell, we can go, right? What we do, go to setup. Under the home, we have a quick find box. On this, I'm going to type lead assignment rule. The lead assignment rule link will come. You're going to click on that. You take it to lead assignment rule page, and there you have a new button. You're going to click on new button, right? So this page will come. So that then you're going to click on new button, take you to the lead assignment rule, right? And what is the rule name? You're going to give the rule name, right? You're going to give the rule name, then make it as active. That particular lead assignment rule will become active. Then you're going to click on save. Right now, this role will be created. Lead assignment role will be created. Now, if at all already there is some rule here, that rule will become deactivated and the newly created rule will become an active one. The newly created rule will be an active one, right? Automatically assigns to the user or queue based on the criteria you define. You can create a multiple rules with different conditions, but only one rule can be active at a time, right? So automatically lead to the assign leads to the user. For this user, right? Now by default, the Rakesh Kumar is the owner, right? So now, so the lead assignment rule will decide whether it can be Rakesh Kumar or it can be a queue or it can be anything, right? So you can create multiple rules with different conditions provided, right? But whatever rule which has been created, so currently that rule will be inactive. The remaining rules will be in a deactive mode. Got it? So now again, what you do, you click on Raghu rule, right? And then you go there. Now you have to enter the rules now. You're going to enter the rules now, right? What is the rules now? Now we're going to enter the criteria there. For which what we are doing, we're going to click on new button. And when I click on new button, now we have to set the rule now. Now step one, set the order in which the rule entry will be processed. Now one, what is the lead city is equal to Visakhapatnam, right? Lead city is going to be Visakhapatnam. I'm going to check the lead city is going to be Visakhapatnam. After that, select the user or queue to assign the lead. So you're going to select the user or rule here, right? After selecting the rule, and then I'm going to click on save, right? After saving now, we're going to use second rule. The first rule is that lead city is equal to Visakhapatnam. Lead city is going to be Visakhapatnam, right? The second rule is that again, right? What is that? Again, you're going to enter the rule number is going to be 2. Lead rating is equal to hot, right? Now here you're going to select who is going to be the whom you're going to assign, either the user or queue. Now first one I've assigned the user, right? The second one I'm assigning the queue now, right? I'm giving the queue name here. So according to this, it is Java team. According to us, the Java Salesforce developer, and then I'm going to click on save, right? After this now, so it is going to assign, right? So now see here, so the lead, right? Once the lead has been created, right? Lead assignment tool has been created, right? Now once that is, now it is taking you to the detail page. On the detail page, now lead one is going to be right. The current user is going to be the lead owner, right? So it is going to decide. We cannot decide on it. It is going to decide, right? The lead assignment tool will decide who is going to be the owner for the lead. Who is going to, it is lead assignment tool. The tool is going to decide who is going to be the owner for this record, right? Now again, we'll get back to the demo. Again, we'll get back to the demo now. Again, we'll get into demo. Now we'll click on home. After this, now I'm going to type on the quick find box, I'm going to type lead assignment rule. So that when I type lead here under marketing, there's something called lead assignment tool. I'm going to click on lead assignment tool, right? So it is going to be based on lead object, right? So now there is by default there is a standard rule is there. Now I'm going to create a new rule. I'm going to click on new. Right now, rule number. What is the rule name? Lead rule. I'm going to say lead rule. And then I should make it as active. Don't forget, right? You have to make it as active. Then only this particular rule will be active. Will come to active. Right now, click on save. After this, now I have to click on lead rule. Right now, I'll take you to lead rule page here. Now I have to give the entry. What is my to give the rule entry? I have to click on new button. It will take you to the entry lead rule entry page here. Now lead. Now what I have to do? Now set sort order. So how the first according to the sort order only the criteria will be checked. According to the sort order only the criteria will be checked. Right now sort order one. Now what is my field? Now lead city equal to. Now in case a lead city is equal to Visakhapatnam. Right? And after this, now we're going to select the user. Right? Now select the user, click on your magnifier icon, and now you're going to select the user here. Right? Now click on the user and click on save button. Now this is my first rule. Now again, I'm going to create the second rule. Now click on new button. Now this is the sort order is going to be 2. Now our first rule will be the lead city is going to be Visakhapatnam. Now what is my second rule? That is the criteria should met. right? The criteria met, based on the owner will be assigned. Based on that, owner will be assigned. If it is met only, if it is not met, then it will not do anything, right? Now, what is my condition? Lead rating. Lead rating. Lead rating is equal to hot. Lead rating is equal to hot, right? I can click on magnifier icon and I'm going to select hot here and say inserted selected. Right now, I'm going to select the queue now. Now, what is a queue now? Now, click on queue. Right? Do we have any queue here? We have to search for the queue. Right? Select Salesforce developer as the queue name. Go. It says we don't have a queue. Now, let me type Salesforce. Okay, I'll click on save. No matching queue. Now, let me go for sort order 2. Then lead rating is equal to, I'll select hot and insert it. Now I'm going to change it to queue. Right now, what is it? Salesforce developer. I search for Salesforce developer. Let's say go. When I click on save, it's giving error. Fine, I'll go with the user now as of now. I'll go with the user. Now what I'll do again, I'll go for the queue. Select for user. Okay. I'll go for user itself. I'll select Anirudh and then I'll click on save. So the assignee doesn't have a permission to. Okay. Again, I'll change this record now. So now see here, the lead assignment tool has been created. Now, if I go and enter the record, right, now it is going to decide who is going to be owner of the record. Now, I'll click on leads. Now click on new. So name, right, Mr. Then last name, right? I'm going to give Roken company name, email and so anything else is required field. Then working contracted rating, everything I've entered, right? If anything is required field is there, you can add it here. After adding, then click on save button. So now you can see who is going to be the owner of the record. Go to detail page. Now, so the lead owner has been decided that so Rakesh Kumar is going to be the owner. And in case if you want to change, you can do it manually, that it will automatically change the lead owner, right? So it is going to automatically change the lead owner here. But now, as of now, the lead owner is going to be Rakesh Kumar, right? The lead owner is going to be Rakesh Kumar. This has been decided by the lead assignment tool, right? But here I have not entered. Once again, I'll click on what is lead here. I will click on new button, right? So whereas lead city and lead rating I have not entered, right? Now see, once again I'll go with Mr. So Akash Govind, right? And company name is going to be Highway Lab. Lead source industry, all these things is not required. Lead status is going to be working contracted. Rating is going to be hot. And city, I have to say Visakhapatnam, right? I have to say city Visakhapatnam. So once that is done, I'm going to click on save button. Now go to detail page and see now who is going to be the owner of the so right, who is going to be the owner? Right, Rakesh Kumar is going to be the owner. So it is going to decide by the tool here. It is going to be decided by the tool here, right? So it is going to decide by the tool who is going to be the owner, lead owner. It is not that we are going to decide. It is going to decide by the tool. So now I can change the status here. Path here, this is called path. So now, right, I can able to convert this lead into various, right? Now go to lead. Now you can able to see. Go to Roshan Kumar, right? Now go to detail page. Now who is going to be the owner again? Whatever I do, again the lead has been the owner is going to be Rakesh Kumar, right? Here as of now we could not able to create with the queue because it's not showing queue here, right? So this is how we're going to create the lead assignment rule. This is how we're going to create lead assignment rule. Got it? So now I'll go back to the slides. So this is all about creating a lead assignment tool, right? So I'm coming to an end, guys. Please work on to this all topics. Lead assignment tool, right? Creating a role, public group, queues, and all the stuff, and try to complete your trial head of modules also. If you have any doubts, you can email me to info@highwaylabs@gmail.com, right? So please do subscribe to our channel. In case we have any doubts or in case you want to discuss with me, you can contact 8550-79168 or 8142000037. Please click on the subscribe button and then click on the bell icon so that you'll get the notification then and there. It's Rakesh Highway Lab, a Techno Hub channel for placement training. Right, info. So in case you want to mail me, can pen me using info.highwaylabs@gmail.com. Please be safe. Bye bye.